show the memo, Associate Attorney General Stephen Boyd also raised concern.
Now I'm out here killing fools though.
Extraordinarily reckless.
I just.
Justice said they'd like to review it, so would the FBI. Former acting CIA Director John McLaughlin, who has served both Republican and Democratic presidents, had this to say, tweeting, FISA warrants typically are big, thick documents, 50, 60 pages. Yet the Nunes memo, about one, is just 4 pages. You can bet it's a carefully picked bowl of cherries, made all the more dishonest by holding back the minority rebuttal memo. A real debate needs both. Someone fears that. Now, keep in mind, there is ample reporting, our own and elsewhere, that a number of factors, not just the so-called Steele dossier, went into that FISA application. However, the White House and its supporters of the president have been saying repeatedly that the investigations, the FBI, the Justice Department, they're all somehow tainted, and this dossier is a big part of it. And if those White House talking points sound just like what reportedly is in the Nunes memo, well, you would not be the first to notice that. Raising the question, did the White House consult with the Republicans on the Hill who wrote this memo? Democratic committee member Mike Quigley, who joins us shortly, confronted Chairman Nunes over it during a debate before the vote on Monday. Quigley said, was any of this done after or during conversations or consultations with anyone in the White House? Nunes said, as far as I know, no. The congressman then asked, Mr. Chairman, does that mean that none of the staff members that worked for the majority had any consultation, communication at all with the White House? Chairman Nunes did not answer that question, nor did White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders when Nunes Chris Cuomo asked this morning. Did Devin Nunes work with anybody in the White House on that?
Not that I know of.
You wouldn't answer that question.
Right, and I just don't know the answer. I don't know of anyone that did, and I haven't had a chance to
work with the White House before when it comes to intelligence and the Russians.
Look, we have certainly coordinated with members of Congress as is appropriate, as the specifics on this. I'm not aware of any conversations or
So she's not aware of any conversations or coordination between the White House and the congressman who chairs the committee. The basic mission, after all, is to oversee the White House, not collaborate with the White House on some of the most sensitive national security and civil liberty questions imaginable. It would almost be crazy to think this could even be possible, right? I mean, a chairman of the House Intelligence Committee collaborating with the White House to carry water for the president. Sadly, it's actually not so hard to imagine. In fact, it already has happened, and it happened with Devin Nunes. Go back to March 22nd of last year. What I've read, some level of surveillance activity, perhaps legal, but I don't know that it's right. I don't know that the American people would be comfortable with what I've read. So that's Congressman Nunes last March, having just rushed to the White House to allegedly brief the president on these allegedly disturbing details he said he just learned about the alleged improper unmasking surveillance charges. Well, 2 days later, we and others began learning what really happened, and there's a technical term to the process. It was basically a crop. Here's Sean Spicer being asked about it the very next day. Wow. Information he announced yesterday on surveillance that he got that from the White House. So you allowed that the White House or anyone in the Trump administration review of Devin Nunes that information?
I don't know what he actually briefed the president on, but I don't know why he chose to brief the president.
That's why I was confusing the committee about some.
Right. I don't know that that makes sense. I did not sit on that briefing. I'm not. It just doesn't. So I don't know why he would travel to brief the speaker and then come down here and brief us on something that we would brief him on. It doesn't really make sense. So I'm not aware of it, but it doesn't really pass the smell test.
Not sure what his smell test was, but the stink was quite real because as we learned just a few days later, that's exactly what happened. Here's a headline in the Washington Post on March 27. Nunes admits meeting with source of Trump surveillance documents on White House grounds. Fast forward now to this. This time, Nunes isn't saying whether his staffers collaborated on the memo with the White House, and later today, his office put out a statement impugning career law enforcement professionals and the work they're doing. Quote, having stonewalled Congress demands for information for nearly a year, it's no surprise to see the FBI and DOJ issue spurious objections to allowing the American people to see information related to surveillance and these agencies. And keep in mind, he's talking about two organizations headed by Republicans, including the president's own choice for FBI Director Christopher Wray, and the one thing they all have in common is they're all involved in investigating the president and under suspicion by the president for for not doing his first bidding. The things we do to get ahead, rising before dawn, sweating it out, tough to do it all. But we can always find time to listen to great thinkers and explorers whose stories take us places our hamstrings can't. All we have to do is listen. Download Audible to start listening. Like new developments in the Russia-Trump story, CNN's reporting of it and the conflation and fact-fudging about the Trump transition team surrounding it. Now, this began with CNN's exclusive reporting that Mr. Trump last week was presented with classified documents alleging that Russian operatives claimed to have compromised his personal...
Oh, I didn't even see the nigga.
We did not report any of the unverified, unauthorized claims. That is the fact. This exclusive story about the briefing was led by a team of experienced CNN correspondents, anchors, and producers backed up by multiple trusted sources. The news today is that Vice President Joe Biden confirmed that intelligence presented him and President Obama with the same two documents. Mr. Biden saying intelligence leaders told them why to tell the president because they were planning on informing Mr. Trump. On top of that, another Director of National Intelligence, James Clapper, took the rare step of putting out a statement summarizing a phone conversation last night with President-elect. In it, he confirmed there was a briefing and suggests the alleged claims came up, saying, and I quote, "However, part of our obligation is to assure the policymakers are provided with the fullest possible picture of any matter that might affect national security." He's talking here about a two-page summary of unproven allegations about information some people have claimed Russia has. So that is two very public...
That nigga texted me LOL.
Then just about 2 hours ago, CNN learned again from multiple U.S. officials that it was FBI Director James Comey who told Mr. Trump of the information. No comment from the Bureau. So CNN's reporting, we should point out, was correct. Now, last night, Trump's senior advisor, Kellyanne Conway, came on this broadcast. We had a very lengthy interview where she was misleading on 2 points. One, according to her, our reporting that President-elect Trump was presented with the situation was not true. And 2, that we, like the online news site BuzzFeed, were hyping and or linking to a 35-page memo full of unsubstantiated allegations against Mr. Trump that the shorter briefing document was based on. So, let's take item 1. I pointed out multiple times last night to Ms. Conway, we have multiple, and I repeat, multiple sources telling us this information. Again, as we just learned tonight, the information actually came from Mr. Comey himself directly to Mr. Trump. That's not fake information. That's not fake. That's accurate reporting. As for item 2, the unsubstantiated 35 pages, like we never reported any details of, and continue not to, here's how that exchange went last night. Do you acknowledge here and now that CNN did not release the 35-page unsubstantiated claims against Donald Trump and it was misleading and untrue, personal advice, or just otherwise?
No, our incoming press secretary, Sean Spicer, was exactly right, as was the President-elect Anderson. CNN went first yesterday, and BuzzFeed went second.
We didn't report what BuzzFeed reported.
I didn't say that you did, but you linked
Sean Spicer said we
story.
did.
Let me just tell you, CNN must be feeling the heat today of having a headline yesterday at around 6:30 p.m. that said, quote, "Intel presenting Trump with information that Russia could compromise, Russia has information to compromise him." That is just false. And as you saw from the news report today, from Politico, no friends of Donald Trump, and frankly, a lot of outlets, print and electronic outlets, so reluctant and hesitant to go forward with anything close to what CNN or BuzzFeed did.
Well, again, you're conflating
BuzzFeed
what BuzzFeed
went first. No, I'm just saying nothing. I just know what CNN did.
It was accurate. For the record, I can tell you precisely what CNN did not do. It did not describe the unfounded allegations. We have not described them. We will not. We did not link to that document. We did not link to BuzzFeed or promoting their reporting. Yet shortly after the interview, Ms. Conway tweeted out a screenshot of the CNN.com page that she said shows that we did link to it. Again, for the record, it does not actually show that. Had she actually clicked on the link, she would have seen that it links to a Dylan Byers article that neither links to BuzzFeed nor even describes what is in the document BuzzFeed released. As for Kellyanne Conway, she was challenging our reporting and conflating it with the document dump that BuzzFeed made. She actually did.
What if it's not in the briefing document, Anderson? What will CNN do?
Well, if our report is wrong, we'll acknowledge that.
Really? Well, heads roll because they didn't have the election with all the
Are you telling me right now? But you're yet to happen today, given the fact that Vice President Biden has come out and collaborated and that we now know, according to multiple sources, now that FBI Director Comey about this, it seems like that's a better question for her. I agree with Kellyanne Conway. If we were wrong, we would admit it, but we were not wrong. She was. The question is, will she hold herself and her team to the standard? We asked her to come on the program tonight to discuss all these developments. Welcome anytime, as she always is. Joining us from the White House correspondent Jim Acosta, two senior journalists who wrote the original stories, and chief national security correspondent Jim Shield.
What's she having in her mouth? Oh, this bitch ass motherfucker, sir.
Yes.
She's going to bed. She's going to be able to see what's going on.
And then stick with it. It doesn't have to, if it's Mr. Trump's claim that vaccines cause autism is false, or if it's his claim that there were thousands of Muslims celebrating 9/11 in New Jersey, which is false, or if it's his claim that there was a report that seems credible about Ted Cruz's father and Lee Harvey Oswald's assassination. It doesn't matter. They're just going to keep on doing what they want.
This motherfucker teleported in front of me, son. How the fuck you do that?
Continue to inform the viewers.
I told you, dog, he was up to something. I told you when I was shooting the shot, he was. He was more sharp than something, bitch. If she ain't go there, I'll tell you he ain't gonna get it. Let me see you shot him, I shot him, the nigga should go right back up.
Morse Mutual Insurance. How can we help you? I'll do my best. Morse Mutual. How can I be of service? I think we can handle that. This is Morse Mutual Insurance. I think we can do that.
Pegasus Lifestyle Management, how can I help you? Great. The aircraft is waiting for you at our nearest airfield. We trust you'll be happy, sir. Hello, this is Pegasus Lifestyle Management. How can I help? Your beautiful new aircraft is waiting at our nearest airfield. We hope you're very happy, sir.
silent friend. How can I help? Okay, I'll get you out of trouble. No problem.
Yo, I know y'all see my name ringing bells, right?
National Security Advisor is sentencing either way. What does that tell us about the investigation?
Well, it tells us that we're a ways away from special counsel Buffalo winding this up. You know, you put off a sentencing like that when the witness still needs to work for you, when there are still things that have to happen on the prosecutorial and investigative side. You don't want to show all your cards in the form of a later sentencing hearing. So that's what it shows, that Mueller needs more time to finish his work. And, you know, I wouldn't think it's a huge surprise, but I think it's another indicator that this is likely to go on for a few months.
Deputy Mayor of Washington Post unpacking a lot of information for his next book.
Oh!
The actual capture of the data. It's especially for European companies or more skeptical companies that have a multinational corporation that are centralized and that significant inorganic growth.
Let's talk about the Nunes memo. You called for it to be released, as you know. The Assistant Attorney General, Stephen Boyd, who's a Trump appointee, he says it would be, quote, extraordinarily reckless for the memo to be made public without a full and thorough review by the Justice Department. Is he wrong?
I believe he is. Mr. Boyd hasn't read the memo, and there are very good reasons why he wouldn't want the FBI and the Justice Department to be the very next folks to review this information. I think that the best thing to do for the country is to release this information into the public square, and then let's have a thoughtful and thorough debate about the type of country we want to have, the type of surveillance policies that we think are appropriate, the type of corroborating evidence that should accompany FISA warrants. And I think that at the end of the day, we might actually get some bipartisan agreement out of this if we can think of it not just in terms of the existing political structure, but whether or not we ever want to have political parties working in concert with our intelligence community to go after other political parties or political communities. I think we can all agree that we can do better in that respect.
Oh, man, dang it.
This memo will be a good next step.
Well, you say that there's a good reason to not let the FBI and the Justice Department see the memo before releasing it. What is that good reason?
Well, Jake, I can't go into the reasons that would confirm or deny the facts that are in the memo. I will say that it does not include sources or methods. Typically, we try to be very, very cautious before releasing anything that could disclose a source or
Come on, military.
of information. I think that the intelligence committee staff that this memo was very careful.
Don't do it, Tank. Don't do it, Tank. Don't do it, Tank. Don't do it, Tank.
Redactions necessary. We should release this full memo.
Don't do it, Tank.
We should also be working to release a
Whew.
copy
That's why they got bad aim.
that buttress the facts that are laid out, and I think that's the only reason why the memo wasn't released sooner. Chairman Nunes of the Intelligence Committee correctly wanted to vet that information and ensure that we've got the most credible product for the American people to review.
I guess one of the things that people who are hearing about the Nunes memo have an issue about is if the problem is that, in your view and the view of other House Republicans, the FBI has a bias problem at the leadership level, why would it be that releasing a memo that is supported only by Republicans on the House Intelligence Committee and is being attacked by Democrats as misleading and cherry-picked and highly partisan, why would that be the solution? Are you not trying to solve a problem of alleged bias with a solution that is inherently biased?
No, I think that the best way to sort of sand off
Is he over there with y'all?
of this discourse is to have free and open debate with as many facts before the American people as possible. If members of Congress just sit behind closed doors and snipe at each other regarding what constitutes a fact or a cherry-picked fact or inappropriate or appropriate context, we don't really move the debate forward for the country. So if Democrats have ideas or data or information that they would like to have into the public square, so long as it doesn't threaten our national security or disclose sources and methods, I would invite their contribution to that discussion. I don't think it's helpful, though, for them to block the American people from being able to review this information. And you know what, Jake? When you read the memo, it's going to be pretty clear why Democrats, and particularly the Democratic Party, did not want it to come into the public light. And I hope we can move past just viewing these things as Republican or Democrat claims, but evaluate the facts in their entirety, and then craft a reform that would apply to both parties. You have said that Special Counsel Robert Mueller, who of course is a Republican, should be fired because he's hired some top investigators for Democrats. By that same logic, could it not be said that Attorney General Jeff Sessions, who is a clear Republican, is giving money to Republicans, or FBI Director Christopher Wray, who's a Republican and is only giving money to Republicans, they support the president? Is there fairness at question because they're Republicans as opposed to these Democrats at your question?
Nate, that better not have been you, Nate. Oh, Nate. Was that you, Nate?
My concern is that the bias that any person can bring to any job actually seems to manifest in this case in a conspiracy to undermine the President of the United States. Now, what you have Pete Strzok and Lisa Page talking about an insurance policy, talking about meeting exhaust and Strzok was removed those things. Right, but before that removal, he was interviewing Mike Flynn, who was engaged in other investigative activity. You have people currently involved in the Mueller probe, like defended the Clinton Foundation. With all the talented prosecutors we have in our federal system, why you would go and include people who previously represented an entity that had such a close tie that one of the participants in the 2016 election and beyond? So I think that there's really a mosaic of evidence here, not one particular donation or one particular party affiliation that illuminates tremendous bias that should stop this probe from going forward. One of the other issues at play here is that a lot of the critics...
Yeah, I didn't even know that dude was over there.
Have been engaged in what seems to be some speculative and in some cases even conspiracy theories about what's going on. For instance, last week there were these text messages between Strzok and Page and this reference that they were released, and there was a reference to a secret society. You, Senator Ron Johnson, seized on that, suggesting this was evidence of a conspiracy against the president and the FBI and DOJ. You and others also suggested that these missing texts at the time were also part of the conspiracy. Now we've since learned that the reference to the secret society seems to have been made in jest when you look at the whole context, and that the Department of Justice Inspector General recovered things like this as evidence of a cabal to undermine the president. Well, Jake, I would say that I was one of the first members of Congress to say that I was skeptical that texts were in fact missing. I was citing back to a letter from December 13th that Inspector General Horowitz sent to Ron Johnson saying that he was in possession of the text messages. And so I never held out the view that he was sure that were gone. I believe there was a distinct possibility they were recoverable. As for the secret society comment, I don't believe that there's any group of people in costumes and rituals meeting off campus, but is there a possibility that people were injecting their political viewpoint in a way that manifested in investigative activity or prosecutorial decisions that links back to
Cause Goo, you don't remember when I used to come in the lobby and Goo used to sparkle on me all the time?
Yeah, that was probably...
I just said fuck it. I went over to knock him out. He knocked me out too though. We went out here just knocking each other out.
We still haven't seen all those text messages.
So we're good.
I think we're going to learn a lot from the text messages from the month of May. That was when a lot of these decisions were being made, where if there was a conspiracy, we would have seen evidence in the month of May. And I think we've seen evidence in the text messages that have been released thus far of people getting together and manifesting their bias in the form of a false investigation of the president built on a rotten premise and incorrect information.
I guess one of the big questions for a lot of people who are watching this all is that days before the presidential election in 2016, the FBI director came forward and made an announcement that Hillary Clinton blames for her loss in the presidential election. He said he was re-examining evidence from the investigation into her email server. If you look at polls, it does seem to have had an effect. You're saying that the same FBI that did that is biased against Donald Trump, and it almost doesn't make any sense.
No, it absolutely makes sense. If you take as a premise that there were people in the FBI who fundamentally believed that Hillary Clinton was going to be president, and they didn't want to make her mad.
Damn.
Evidence that claim, not by what Republicans have said, but by people like Peter.
Couldn't tell you, man.
And their own messages. But I'm not saying that Hillary was going to be president.
I'm talking about what Comey did 10 days before the election.
Right, and so if there were people in the FBI, let's assume Mr. Comey was one of them who believed that Hillary Clinton was going to be president, you wouldn't want evidence to be sat on or not disclosed that might be exculpatory in an investigation, and so I think that was largely a CYA event. Mr. Comey injecting himself there at the very end.
Wait a second, you're actually citing Comey coming out 10 days before the election saying he was reopening and re-examining evidence in the FBI investigation into Hillary Clinton. You're saying he did that to help her?
No. I'm not saying he did that to help her. I think he did it to help himself. I think he did it to have a narrative in the event that his messages or emails that were on Anthony Weiner's computer, if they were exculpatory in the investigation into Hillary Clinton, James Comey didn't want that to be something that was dormant right before an election. And so he released it into the public square.
Do you have any issue with him doing that 10 days before the election? Do you think that that injected politics into the FBI?
I think that there's a lot that went on with Mr. Comey and the decisions he made leading up to the election that deserves a tremendous amount of scrutiny. I think it's one of the reasons that the president fired him. And you know what, Jake? When we release this memo, we can have a far more thoughtful and I think hopefully productive discussion about how an FBI director should act in an event like this going forward, because this was an event where Mr. Comey just went rogue and did what he wanted to do without really a linkage to the policies and procedures that should be followed in a serious investigation.
Make the case. What is your concern?
I mean, you know, watch out for the little guys, you know what I mean? Yeah, I was like, yo, that's just too motherfucking quick. That somebody just hit me like that.
Every Democrat voted against it, so unfortunately, I can't even discuss issues around that. What I can say is that the text messages between Svnk and Page, which you just mentioned in the intro to this segment, are very damning. It's not Republicans who created the theory of a secret society. That was Lisa Page's...
Wait, who went and got a tank?
Oh. It wasn't Republicans that deleted 5 months of text messages. I mean, Svnk and Page were texting each other more than a high school cheerleading squad, but somehow there's a 5-month black hole. They were, but you don't find it a bit interesting that this black hole starts right when Obama launches the counterintelligence investigation in August, and then it magically ends when the day Mueller is appointed. That's like a really conspicuous time for that to occur. Well, let's look at it.
Yeah, somebody off radar.
The idea of the memo that
I think I see him.
people put together on pizza and beer concerns, okay? I have something that you should probably know, but the Democrats can't stop from making it public. I don't know why this is taking so long. The President of the United States has power to classify and declassify. Is there a process? Yes. Does he have to follow it? No. Is he someone who seems unique?
Yo, really?
During that process? Yes. And if a motivated member of Congress, such as someone whose name rhymes with, Matt Gaetz, wanted to make this public, you could do so because you have immunity for anything you say in speech or debate on the floor of Congress. You could go out there, you could read the memo, and you could put anything you want into the congressional record. So it ain't the Democrats, my friend. You could put this if you wanted to do more than just hype it.
No, Chris. The Democrats actually voted no. The Republicans voted yes. There's a few reasons the things you mentioned would not be beneficial for our national security. First, if we accepted the premise that members of Congress ought to take top secret documents and go start reading them on the floor of the House of Representatives, it will irreparably damage the sharing of intelligence and information.
You can read parts of the memo. You don't have to read everything.
Yeah, but we're not going to come to that. Yeah, okay, so there's another reason why it may take a week or two to get this into the public square, and that is that we don't want to simply release a conclusory memo. These are facts, but there's intelligence information that buttresses those facts. The letter that I sent to Devin Nunes, signed by 65 Republicans, does not merely request the release of the memo. We are...
Oh, man, I barely even saw that food. Get that food, guy, get that food.
Facts that are made in the memo. So let's put that to the side. Now,
you deserve credit for calling for the release of that memo. I appreciate that.
The text between these two. You say, well, the secret society comes from Lisa Page. You have no idea what the context was for that statement.
Daylight. Look at my Nunabot, look at my Nunabot. Daylight. Look at my Nunabot, look at my Nunabot. Hi, Nunabot. How you doing?
Lisa Page texted. This wasn't a Republican idea. It was her text message. You don't know the context. Your argument, if
Okay, well, how about this, Chris? Why don't you walk me through the appropriate context for members of the FBI having a secret society and meeting to discuss the presidential election?
Well,
what do you know is a good context for that?
I reject the premise. I will offer you one, though, if you want, because you asked.
Sure.
I'm talking to someone who's an intimate of mine. I don't like Trump. I think he's a buffoon. So I say to them, as she did, because that we're assuming her predisposition. She's anti the president, right? And I'm granting that for the purpose of this. She then says, well, I guess it's time for the secret society to meet. It could be off the cuff. It could mean a million things. The problem is, if I don't know what it really means, I should not impugn the reputation of the FBI. We need our democratic institutions intact. They're taking
Of course we do.
Why add to that? Without
You're right. No. The way that we solve the problem with our democratic institutions degrading before our very eyes is to pass better legislation for more oversight, more transparency, more reporting so that this never happens again.
Yo, what the fuck happened?
Where you get an
I thought that shit take more.
apart from the normal investigative procedure.
Yo, I thought the damn
and not at the head shed in
what they changed the shit on the damn Avenger? That shit only take one missile now?
Off the cuff comment is laughable. I can't even believe you would make that mistake.
That shit hit me one time, bruh.
Together in secret to plan.
Existence of something as pernicious and
They said it.
nefarious as an anthem. No, she said it. You don't know what the context is. Have you ever picked up that phone
I'm
and
sure you've
asked?
seen Ron Johnson's statements. I'm sure you've seen Ron Johnson's statements where
he backed off.
Where he's not. He said
backed
that's an
off.
informant.
He backed off. He said, well, we have an informant who talked about private meetings that were off-site. We don't even know if it's related to the same thing. We don't know if it's the informant. And I'll tell you
a
what's
text
got me.
message talking about secret.
I'll tell you what's got me. I'll tell you, Matt, whether it's you, whether it's Johnson, or any of them, you switch the R and the D, and you switch the context from this discussion about these text messages to what we know about Russia and any collusion or activity, and boy, oh boy, you guys all sound the same. When it's about Russia, you don't care what the basis is, you don't believe it, you don't want to investigate it, you think it's silly. But when you're talking about this, you have a phrase between lovers, you don't know the context, you don't dig into it, but you're ready to say that there is a shadow organization at the FBI. And the irony that the only reason you know about these texts, Matt, is not because you know, is not because Republicans figured it out. You didn't even have a source on it. This was done internally by the same institution you want to say you can't trust.
Subpoenaed by Devin Nunes.
The Inspector General had them. That's where he got them from. The Inspector General's report.
The Inspector General's report, but we were demanding them as
assessing it. And when Mueller was told, what happened? When Mueller was told about these texts that the IG found inappropriate, he moved on them. He took them off. Struck. Lisa Page was already gone, so he couldn't. So you didn't figure this out. Nunes didn't figure this out. This was in the IG's report. An independent agent. It shows accountability. It shows transparency. And yet you want to impugn the entire...
You need something, huh? One of your rides?
Well, let's talk about that IG since you mentioned it, Chris. On December 13th, the IG sent a letter to Ron Johnson saying that he had all of the text messages through the month of June. And then it turns out there's a 5-month hold. So how do you explain that inconsistency?
You know how
if the IG's word is to be taken... I do not know how you can say this. Hold on. No. I want to be able to make this point. How can you say that it's consistent to say we have all the text messages through June, and then only later, when Congress is demanding answers as we should under our oversight authority, you say, oops, there's a 5-month black hole.
How the fuck, bruh?
Where the Robert Mueller investigation was getting launched, he was appointed at the end of that black hole. At the beginning, you have Barack Obama sicking the intelligence community on the Donald Trump transition team. It is outrageous, and I really hope we play back that segment
Yo.
we get this memo released. Hold on. How is it outrageous when the FBI...
Okay, what you think she gonna do with
I
that?
want the memo released. I want to know more because politicians have politics in their mind. And I do not trust any of you as ultimate arbiters of fact. And I don't know why you're investigating any of this stuff. Because I
don't trust CNN anchors, but that doesn't mean we can't have a debate about the content.
But I'll tell you what, and as this CNN right now, as long as you want to stay to the facts, you tell me what I say that's partisan in this interview. I'm banging you on the premise for your assumptions.
Okay,
that's what I'm doing.
will.
And I'm doing it on this too.
You said
what
that
are you
Lisa
ignoring
Page
about
saying something is a secret society isn't really a secret society.
I don't know what it means, I'm saying, and neither do you.
Well, how about give it the plain meaning? You're a lawyer. You understand the plain meaning doctrine. How about we accept things at their plain meaning? And you know what? You also understand the adverse inference doctrine, and the fact that there's 5 months of missing text messages leading up to the Mueller probe will be exhibit A.
I don't know where you got that.
There would be if there was a criminal prosecution.
In this
context. There is no absolutely criminal prosecution.
And the reason that you know that there is an explanation for where these texts went is how huge would this conspiracy have to be that in order to hide these texts between these two people, which were already allowed to be discovered by the IG and moved on by Mueller, who's a lifetime Republican, who talked to Trump about getting a job in the administration, all of these other phones, maybe 1 in 10, maybe thousands of FBI field agents and other administrative employees have the same problem with a hole in their text. How could it be that such a big conspiracy was undertaken just to hide what these two people were saying from you?
Chris, you're talking about undermining the President of the United States. Of course, it's one hell of a conspiracy, and people at the top levels of our government were involved in it. That's why this is so treacherous. That's why we've got to find out. You made mention of Trump interviewing Mueller. I think that's one heck of a
interviewing Trump. I know that's what you're dreaming about, but that ain't what happened.
No, my friend. No, it was Trump interviewing Mueller for the FBI position. So it's one heck of a note that he interviews Mueller for the position, decides he doesn't want to hire Mueller, and within 24 hours, Rosenstein has appointed Mueller to investigate the president. I don't know a single American
choice who he relied on for an assessment of him Comey. Now he can't trust him about Mueller.
Hey, look, that's my contention, and I don't think there's a single American that would ever, there's not a single American that would want to be investigated by someone that they passed over for their old job back within the last 24 hours. By the way, that very day was in the black hole
with president who is not shy, never said anything about it. One other thing, and then I've got to let you go. You say that this is the biggest coincidence since the Immaculate Conception. What are you talking about?
Well, look, the notion, and again, this will really be illuminated by the memo, but the notion that this 5 months, not any 5 months, but that this particular 5 months is where the black hole is, I mean, that is one hell of a coincidence, because it's precisely the time that someone would be hatching a conspiracy, meeting with their secret society, building out their insurance policy.
Now you have the
American people.
Society. You don't even know that one exists. But what do you mean by the American
that was Lisa Page's text. She said that we need to be able to get together and have our secret society meeting.
What do you mean by the Immaculate
That was the substance. Look, I was making a point that this is an absurd coincidence.
But what? Like, what do you think happened with the Immaculate Conception?
The Immaculate Conception is obviously a religious doctrine. It deals with the Christian faith.
I know, but I'm saying, like, where is the analogy? That's what I don't understand. What do you think happened with the Immaculate Conception?
Look, did you really bring me on to discuss my religious views, Chris?
No, I'm saying you made the analogy. I don't understand. The Immaculate Conception is not how Jesus was born.
It was the conception. That's the nature of the Immaculate.
It was Mary's conception. It was the mother's conception without original sin. It was not the conception of Jesus. Facts matter, Congressman. If you're going to make an analogy, at least know what you're talking about, because you got to have a basis for these things. You only know what you show. You got to release that memo. It's got to have the facts, and you better figure out what this secret society is before you say that there's a shadow organization within the FBI.
We intend to, absolutely. We intend to find out what it is, and we're going to get the answers. That's why the American people have been learning more and more about the intractable bias in this investigation.
Hey there. What can I help you with? No problem. I'll scramble the signal for 1 minute.
immaculate conception. What are you talking about? Well, look, the notion, and again, this will really be illuminated by the memo, but the notion that this 5 months, not any 5 months, but that this particular 5 months is where the black hole is, I mean, that is one hell of a coincidence, because it's precisely the time that someone would be hatching a conspiracy, meeting with their secret society, building out their insurance policy.
Now you have the
American
secret
people.
society. You don't even know that one exists. But what do you mean by the American
That was Lisa Page's text. She said that we need to be able to get together and have our secret society meeting.
What do you mean by the American
That was the substance. Look, I was making a point that this is an absurd coincidence.
But what? Like, what do you think happened with the Immaculate Conception?
The Immaculate Conception is obviously a religious doctrine. It deals with the Christian faith.
I know, but I'm saying, like, where is the analogy? That's what I don't understand. What do you think happened with the Immaculate Conception?
Look, did you really bring me on to discuss my religious views, Chris?
No, I'm saying you made the analogy.
Jesus was born.
I don't understand. The Immaculate Conception does not have to exist.
It was the conception.
No, it wasn't. It was Mary's conception. It was the mother's conception without original sin. It was not the conception of Jesus. Facts matter, Congressman. If you're going to make an analogy, at least know what you're talking about, because you got to have a basis for these things. You only know what you show. You got to release that memo. You got to have the facts, and you better figure out what this secret society is before you say that there's a shadow organization within the FBI.
We've got about 3 weeks now to solve the DACA problem. The president already started on that, and he met with half a dozen senators yesterday. We said during the shutdown that we were looking forward, or we enjoyed having discussions about DACA before the shutdown. We were going to renew discussions about DACA after the shutdown. We did not have those discussions during the shutdown. We didn't. Importantly, no one's mentioned this before, what Senator Schumer did was cost us several important days. Keep in mind, even though you've got about 3 weeks now before the next CR, the continuing resolution, expires, I think Congress is only going to be in town maybe 6 or 7 of those days. So the 3 days we lost over
That's where the president comes in, though, right? I mean, he should be pulling the strings and making these guys meet and inviting them to the White House. It worked once, then he kind of backed off. He could be doing that. You say the president is interested in DACA. What is his position on Dreamers?
Keep in mind, the president has already done every one of those things that you just listed. He's called members of the House and the Senate. He's had them down to the White House, had them again, half a dozen, I think, senators here yesterday, technically before the government.
Numerous Republicans say he stepped away, that he wasn't an active part of this process. He was letting them handle it. And Mitch McConnell has said he doesn't know where he stands on immigration.
Be perfectly clear. We said we were going to step away if the government shut down. We said we would negotiate before a shutdown and after a shutdown, but not during the shutdown. You can't.
And we agree. He stepped away and wasn't an active part of the negotiation. I accept the point.
And got exactly what we wanted. Sometimes not going to the table is one of the best things you can do in a negotiation. So the president got exactly what he wanted, which is he got the government funded, he got the chip extension, he got the delay in the taxes, and didn't have to give anything in exchange for that. But anyway, so moving forward, we do look forward to continuing the
What is his non-position?
The position is, as it has been from the very beginning, we're interested in border security. We're interested in
That's not a DACA position. What's his position on Dreamers?
Let me finish.
I want you to answer that question. That's what makes this interesting.
I will, but...
All right, go ahead.
Do it the way you want. You don't get a chance to pick and choose. We want a large agreement. We want a big deal that solves the reason that we have a DACA problem in the first place. If you simply gave amnesty, whatever you want to call it, to the folks who are here, but don't solve border security, then you're simply delaying another DACA problem 10 or 15 years from now. You have to deal with this holistically. You have to deal with the entire issue of immigration at one time. So that means, I'll start with your topic, figuring out under what terms and conditions folks can stay here. Those are the DACAs, those are the Dreamers, call them what you want to, but allow them to stay here. What are those terms and conditions? And who gets to stay?
What are they? What are his terms and conditions? Who does get to stay?
Chris, I know you won't be offended by this, but not negotiating with you on national television.
No, I just want to hear it. I tell you what, I won't say anything. Just say what his position is on it. How do they get to stay? Who gets to stay?
Again, depends on what we get in exchange. What do we get for border security? What do we get for wall issues? Senator Schumer this weekend said that he gave the president everything he wanted on the wall. I've challenged that. Senator Schumer says that he insists that he gave it. We'll have a discussion. Did he really offer $20 billion in appropriated funds, or did he just offer $20 billion in authorized funds? Keep in mind, there's border security that was authorized in 2006 that Senator Schumer voted for, but that still hasn't been built yet because no one's actually appropriated the funds. So where are we on that? That's part of the fund. That's part of the discussion.
Legitimate issue. I mean, the president's not helping by going back and forth about wanting a brand new wall versus using the wall as a metaphor, as most reasonable minds see it, meaning a fence in some places, sensors, increased manpower, and it's really not tomato. The president was so strong on saying, no, I mean a big brand new wall everywhere, and Mexico's going to pay for it, and clearly, or at least we hope, if there's going to be any chance of progress, that's not where it is now. But 50 said something that I have to go back to.
Sure.
A wall is an inanimate object, and you can dicker about it, you go about the money and the time and the appropriations and how it's done. I got you. Dreamers are human beings, and the idea that he will only be as generous or as loving, right, because he said he wants a bill of love, as warranted by what he gets in return does not seem like love to me.
Trying to solve the problem, though, he's the President of the United States. He's the Commander-in-Chief. He's responsible not only for the well-being of the citizens, he's also now taking responsibility for helping the folks who are here under DACA temporarily, at least through March, but he's also in charge of making sure that drugs don't come in, making sure illegal immigrants don't come in. It's not, you can't do it the way you just laid it out, because you can't just say, okay, I'm going to do a deal on DACA, and that's it. It doesn't solve the problem. It goes for the dreamers, doesn't solve the problem for you, for me, for everybody else. Doesn't solve the issue of drugs costing the problem. You can't do it like that. You can if you want to. But that's not an effective way to solve the problem.
But it's an effective way to help the dreamers, and he called it a bill of love. None of that other stuff is about love. It's about security, and there are things that are important, but not the same as giving these dignity to these human beings who were brought in as children, who he says he cares about.
Look, fabulous questions, great questions. Go back in time, ask President Obama when he had control of the White House. 60 votes in the Senate and the House. Why didn't they solve illegal immigration? Why didn't they deal with the dreamers?
But he did the executive action to protect the dreamers because the rest of you guys couldn't get it done. That's what a leader does, right?
Again, you are ignoring the fact that he controlled the Senate and the House, again, with 60 votes in the Senate. But go to the executive action, because I was watching either an interview you did earlier today or last night. The executive action was illegal. I know you said that it wasn't determined to be illegal.
But it never finished that process.
The deferred action against parents was determined to be illegal by the courts for the same reason.
But the litigation wasn't finished.
But if the president had allowed the litigation to go forward and the courts had undermined or had overturned DACA, it would have been instant. And what the president did was he gave Congress at least 6 months. Keep in mind, General Kelly, and I think he said this on your show before, was actually talking to the Senate as early as December of last year, so 13 months ago, saying, look, DACA is a problem. You know it's a problem. I know it's a problem. It's not going to hold up the courts. You need to fix DACA now. That was 13 months ago, but Congress did nothing. And then the president comes in last fall and gives them another 6 months, and still we are here with nothing. So you cannot say this is the president's fault that DACA has not been fixed. He's been trying to shine a light on this from the very beginning, but it's been Congress. Most of the Senate Democrats have been dragging their feet on this. We do look forward at the end of the day, if we want to find something positive to look on, but having this next 3 weeks to be able to focus intensely on DACA.
Right, but it will only be as generous to the dreamers as it is what you get in return. That's what you said, right?
The president represents every person, every citizen of the United States of America. You don't get to sort of say, well, I'm going to fix DACA, but I'm not going to fix illegal immigration. That's not being presidential. That doesn't solve the problem. That's what we pay a president to do. It's what we hire a president to do, to try and get the best solutions that we can to many of our problems. Simply waving a wand and giving amnesty to 12 or 13 million people may solve a problem for them, but doesn't solve a problem for the other 300
But they're not a problem for you, the dreamers.
No, it solves the problem for them.
I know, but they are not a problem to you. This imaginary crisis that immigrants pose to the United States. Dreamers are not a problem. They're a benefit, and in fact,
put it in her mouth. Oh yeah, get that out. Get that shit out of here.
$133 billion over 10 years, or $43 billion a year in U.S. gross domestic product. It cost us money by getting rid of it.
You're not going to get me to disagree on the value of legal immigration. Illegal immigration is a different topic. I'm not going to debate the American Progress report on your
You don't believe the numbers?
Center for American Progress? Seriously, let's find a couple different studies on both sides of the argument. You know that I can find something from some right.
Do you? You're the budget director. Do you believe that it wouldn't cost the country money if you got rid of dreamers?
I believe that it would actually. It's bad for the nation to have bad illegal immigration policies. And that's what we have right now. You do have drugs coming in. You have folks.
Do you think if you got rid of all the dreamers, we would lose money?
You need to solve our immigration problem.
Why won't you say yes? We lose money. Why not? What's wrong with that? Why not say something that's positive about these people? Why can't you do it?
Let me ask you a question. Why won't you just agree that we need to have a holistic immigration solution so that we don't have this problem, so that your kids and my kids aren't having the same debate 25 years ago? What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with it is that you're lumping in something that is an exigency with a human cost right now with things that are not on that same sphere. The border matters, but you guys talk as if it was wide open. It isn't wide open. It's disrespectful to the good men and women who are keeping it safe.
I can say this in good conscience because it was
Oh, damn, that's your ass.
Lumping in an exigency is taking a DACA discussion and trying to force it into a fiscal government shutdown discussion. I got accused of the same thing, supposedly for interjecting Obamacare into a financial discussion in 2013. That's an exigency. That's taking
Come here, Mama. Come here. Jaquan, why would you leave her on the floor?
Yo. Absolutely linked. Those two things go together. You have one because you have the other. Taking DACA and forcing it on whether or not we're going to get troops or the federal workers relief, that's an exit.
But that didn't have to happen either, right? The Democrats offered to put something on the floor to keep the military paid, and McConnell wouldn't put it on the floor. What about that?
Well, those are a bunch, and you and I both know those are a bunch of procedural motions that both sides objected to. Mr. McConnell asked for a quicker consideration instead of waiting till Monday. We could have opened this government, by the way, even after it closed, as early as Saturday night or early Sunday morning. But we've not talked about this. I absolutely believe there was some political motivation to deprive the president of that opportunity over his anniversary weekend, his first year in office, of the ability to talk about all the successes that the administration has had in the first year. But they denied the ability to do that. I think that was a political...
What success? Why does everybody keep talking about success and everybody in America except for the Republicans are talking about success? I mean, except for the
Let me ask you something.
everybody, all the Republicans is talking about success, but everybody else in America is talking about what the fuck is y'all doing.
Back and forth and dealing with the dreamers or not dealing with them. What do you get? We'll see what kind of numbers comes out. It's certainly avoided crisis, but one be on the budgetary issues and one that is separate be on immigration, or will they be conjoined?
I don't know the answer to that question.
But listen, but only you got to be a dumb motherfucker to shit on American people, and we telling you that we know you shitting on us, and y'all gonna tell us we don't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? You basically saying I'm not shitting on you as you're stealing out of my pocket.
Let's see that February 8th date. If they don't make a deal, if he does trigger the vote.
Well, by the way, you should ask shut down Schumer if that was the same promise that McConnell gave to Flake, because my understanding was that was going to happen anyway. That was a promise that was given to Senator Flake as part of the tax discussion. So it's another thing that Schumer says that he got yesterday that he didn't get.
Shut down Schumer. You know, it's the same hashtag that Russian bots are using all the time. Just for what it's worth. Russian bots.
Yeah, I'm not a Russian bot, I can assure you of that. I'm the director of office.
I believe you. I see you right now. And it is good to see you as always, Mick. You're always...
They always name... Yo, this is how I understand. You don't notice that these motherfuckers be doing some kitty name calling shit. Like, they where's the damn adults, man? Ain't no it's kids up in there, bruh. The man called him shut down Schumer. Y'all, the Republicans have the power of all three houses. Y'all have the power to shut the government down. The Democrats have no power in that. When y'all shut the government down using people as a motherfucking pawn to get what you want, and then brag about it afterwards, y'all got to be some stupid motherfuckers, childish ass kids. I tricked you. That's basically what they saying. I tricked you. We all get richer, and y'all poors get poorer. Now let's build a wall and kick all the brown people out. That's what I hear.
You guys are this divided. And I read the transcript of that folks who released this. That does not sound like a group of men and women who can work together, but we'll get to that. With McCabe, the reporting is...
So the man crashed and died on his own shit.
Triggered a concern that Ray had with McCabe, maybe not.
nothing about this memo. Gray now had to step forward and put out a statement from the FBI saying,
boy, did that boy just say Fortnite?
well, I wish he was more specific.
I think I heard a broadcast on Fortnite. Excuse me, my son got to do his part because I need to get some breaks. Hold on 1 second. Did y'all leave already? Are y'all talking about politics? Can I ask y'all a question though? if this country produced more white terrorists than any other religion in the world, why is it that every other religion but white terrorists are exploited when it comes to protecting our country? But that, you know what? That didn't actually happen though, bro. Like, they didn't rape. But that wasn't. It didn't happen though. Like, okay. Listen. Hear me out. Listen, But listen though. When you realize something, when they found Osama bin Laden, the man had a fat belly, hair was nice, clothes was clean, hiding in the hole. Like, you tell me something. How do a motherfucker that got all this military, all this money, but he running from the government, but he supposed to be hiding and nobody supposed to know where he at, but he still being fed? Like, who the fuck fed him? You get what I'm saying? Who the fuck turned him over to the people who killed him without even first asking or putting the man on fair trial? He didn't have due process. So with that being said, anytime, and this is a fact, anytime that the terrorist is outside, it's easy for somebody to hate because they feed on racial shit. More white people in this country will rather see, listen, every war we're in right now, every country that we're occupying right now are countries of brown people. You don't see them going to war with white people. You don't see them they trying to go to war with China. I mean, with Japan, but China and them boys ain't trying to have that because other white people ain't having that. But they're all in Africa. They're all in Afghanistan. They're all in Egypt, Libya. Then they got slave trade. The whole country decided not to speak on the slave trade that's going on, but the other United Nations countries spoke on it 2 days ago. But America refuses to say anything because they don't care. And then Trump already gave everybody an idea and said, that nigga said he was gonna give everybody a one-way ticket. Whoever don't like his presidency can leave the United States, and he's gonna give them a one-way ticket out. Like, if they keep allowing the shit to happen, we gonna sooner or later. Yes, sooner or later it's gonna be okay to be a hateful, racist, motherfucking sexist. Look at how many months. Listen, they had 35 fucking Republicans quit. That's a history record. They quit before the next election. So, with that being said, now, if you know for a fact that y'all been lying y'all way to the top, and you know this shit about to hit the fan, you will leave before you can be prosecuted as a government official. Because now you become a private citizen, and now things are different. But you still can be prosecuted, but I think it's going to be in a different setting. But my point is, how is it that these people can steal money, start wars, kill people, arrest people for no reason, plant shit, bring drugs? Yeah, bring shit into the country. They bring the drugs in, but they telling us that they want the wall to keep the drugs out. But y'all bringing them in. It ain't. That's what I'm saying. You not. The thing is, they hope that we stupid. Exactly. But you know what? This is how. Okay, did y'all ever see the movie? I forgot. I think the movie is called The Wall, and it's about them covering up the. They surrounded New York City in a wall, and they was getting visitors from extraterrestrials, right? And the one extraterrestrial dude was a fucking dragon nigga, a dude like he was Lucifer, my nigga. I kid you not. But he was red with the wings, the eyes, and he could transform himself. And it was some type of technology that white people memories and all of that. This shit right here reminds me of that, because my thing is this. Y'all want to use, they hope that people are stupid enough to just believe anything they say. And they do have those people. You could tell because they voted for Trump. So, you believe everything they say, so now they're saying this. If y'all want to have people coming and raping and killing us, then we're not going to have a border. But if y'all want protection, then y'all got to give up some more freedoms. Which means y'all got to give up the freedom to travel. That's going to be the right to travel once that border wall comes up. Now, you put the border wall there, now you lose your right to travel. Now, they telling you you're being protected from the people on the outside. But yet they got a whole faction of people on the inside killing off people that are not white. So, it's like, what the fuck? You got a Ku Klux Klan, you got the Aryan Nation, you got the skinheads, you got the motherfucker, the white National Brotherhood. You got all these races, but nobody's looking at them. Y'all looking at the people that's just 80% of the motherfuckers that come into this country they process. They do more better than the people in the country. So, what the fuck is going on? Yeah. That's why I didn't want to vote. That's me not playing in the game. I don't want to participate in this shit no more, bro. Because if you look, but it is a whole lie. But listen, but check this out. Y'all forget that when you doing things. But listen, every time you put your piece of paper, your name on a piece of paper, you're signing a contract. So every time you sign a contract, you're saying that it's okay, whatever this person does, it's okay because they represent you. That's why when they say the American people wants war, the American people wants this, they're not talking about what you personally feel. They're talking about what they're gonna do, because with your consent, they're gonna do it. And that's why I'm telling people, if you don't vote, watch how the system goes when you don't vote. You're gonna wonder, well, how did this person get in this office if we didn't vote for this person? Because y'all gonna realize that y'all voting